we're back with Jamie and Marty. And guys, Edmonton's performance in Buffalo last night, ugly. Yep. And you hear it all the time with the Oilers. Don't worry, it's the regular season. But Marty, did last night's loss to the Sabres prove the Oilers have some big issues?
They have some major issue. It's about defending the slot. I mean, we had numbers on the pregame, the Buffalo TV, that showed that the Edmonton Oilers are 26, 27, 28, some places 30th in scoring chances from the slot, in the shot attempts from the slot, in defending basically in front of their goaltenders. And listen, I think Stuart Skinner has been okay this year. He's not been great, but he's also not been bad, and I think he's getting even better. But when you're facing the quality of shots right from the middle of the ice with a screen or the rebounds and all that the Oilers are giving up to other teams, it is a problem. And other teams are scouting it. Because you saw last night, Noah Ostlund, he's just a guy that got called up this year. He knows that he can attack the middle and take a really good shot, and nobody's going to be contesting that shot. So if I am Chris Knobloch and the Edmonton Oilers, I'm saying we have to defend the middle of the ice so much better, because now teams are pre-scouting. They're able to take advantage of it, and it's putting the goalies in a tough situation.
I agree. And you know what, Marty? I would call it the dog park defense. That's all they're doing is chasing the puck around in the defensive zone. And you've got the numbers to support it, but the bigger picture is the Edmonton Oilers need to be a lot more determined. They're too easy to play against. And yeah, it's the regular season, but teams are pre-scouting them and saying, yes, we can get to middle ice, but we got to get shots. Their D aren't connected with their forwards. The forwards aren't connected with their goaltender. To me, they've got to be a lot more better and a lot more urgent in critical areas, like you say, the middle of the ice and in front of their net. I still think they're taking it too lightly, and I think they'll turn it on. But, they're a team that has the talent, but they're not playing to their capabilities right now.
Yeah, we know they can turn it on, but it's got to happen ASAP, because you take a look at the standings, the West is really stacked. So could the Oilers not be taking the regular season serious enough, really cost them when it comes to not only making the playoffs, but more so playoff positioning?
I think positioning for sure. I look at that group and, the Pacific Division, I do believe that they'll be in a top 3 spot. And kind of like the Florida Panthers last year, where they played a lot of hockey the previous couple of years, they end up in 3rd place. They're fine with it. I think that's where the Edmonton Oilers kind of slotted to be in the Pacific. But they have to find a way. The one thing when I look at the Edmonton Oilers is consistency. And to me, if you don't have the mind or the legs going that night, you fall back on your system. Well, what is their system? What is their identity? You look at other teams throughout the league, their identity is speed, they defend, they can score. The Oilers have a little bit of everything, but they don't have one definitive thing that they're really good at this year. They've got to find a way to be a lot more consistent, and Marty talked about it, in those tough areas to play against, and they haven't been.
And for me, I don't care where they finish, but as long as when we get to February and March, if we were to do power rankings, they would be one of the better team in the Western Conference. Because right now, even if they were somehow top 2 in the Western Conference, let's say, they're not one of the best teams in the Western Conference. Colorado, Winnipeg, Dallas. Vegas is struggling, but I'd still put Vegas ahead of them. Like, there's so many teams that would be ahead of the Oilers. Now, even if they're 8 in the conference, but you do a power ranking late in the season and you say, oh, the Oilers are playing to their abilities and their identity now, I'd give them a chance. But that has to change at some point in the season.
Yeah, it does. And we know it's too early for the if the playoffs started today game, but let's consider this. Whichever team finishes in the second wild card in the West is likely going to face 2 of the Avs, Stars, and Jets in the opening 2 rounds, and that really doesn't sound like a friendly path to the Cup final.